So now I'm going to talk about what I for sure would have wanted to know in high school, going into college. So anyone a senior here? Seniors? Yes, you guys are probably also starting to think what you want to major in, what you want to do. You have so much time, so like don't worry if you don't know. But so I'm going to just talk about like some of the typical majors when you're deciding on like what you want to do in college. So there's biology, chemistry, nutrition, biochem, health sciences. So I put an asterisk next to health science because I was a health science, and because like I said, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I honestly regret my major a little bit because it's kind of hard for you to understand now, but with most like pre-health, my suggestion if you decide med school, PA school, PT school, OT school, biology and chemistry are going to cover pretty much everything for you. So I was a health science. I think Alex was neuroscience. So we definitely had some of those classes overlap. But I was taking these really high upper physiology classes in addition to the pre-med, pre-PA classes. So it's just a lot. And we both took 2 years off after because I had to finish my prerequisites. I graduated on time, but then I had to do my extra classes for PA school, and that's totally fine to do. But so my sister's a freshman at OU right now, and she's thinking she wants to do something. I was like, keep yourself broad. And my mom told me, my parents are always right. She said, stay broad, because I did switch over from PT to PA. So just really go in with an open mind and just do what covers the general. So again, bio, chem. And then just some things to think about when you are in school or even now. So for PA school specifically, you need, most schools right now are about 2,000 hours of pre-health experience. So as opposed to med school, you mostly need research. And I know that's several hours, but this is a ton of hours to get. So I'm from the Bath area. I worked at the PT Center in Fairlawn. I don't know if anyone's ever been there. It's a physical therapy office. During my summers between college, which was a great experience, but I was doing that and I wasn't taking summer classes. So you need a lot of hours. So I know in a lot of colleges they have EMT clubs. So that's a lot of kids in our class were EMTs, which is such a cool experience. You're on the ambulance, you learn a ton. A lot of people were medical assistants, certified nursing assistant. I got my certification for that as well. You can work in the hospital, nursing home.
They have EMT clubs.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's I know a lot of kids from I went to Walsh, so a lot of them went to Dayton, and I know a ton of them were in the EMT club. Some of them are in med school at OU now.
Emergency medical technician, in case you don't know.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so it's just I just look out for things like that if you are thinking you want to do something in the health field, not even PA, but I would just keep that in the back burner. So as far as your required courses, these are nice because they will overlap with any pre-health. So GPA minimum 3.0. It's definitely going to get more competitive. I don't know what our class was, probably 3, 4. Yeah, and that's so you have your overall GPA, and then you'll have a science GPA. And your science GPA is going to consist of these. So you're going to need biology, you'll be in lab. They're 3-hour lab as most every college, so you will have fun doing that. You'll have human anatomy, human physiology, microbiology, organic chemistry, that's a fun one, biochemistry, psychology, statistics, and medical terminology. So these are again, for most any major or any pre-health, these are the classes you'll want to take. Obviously, depending on the school, you might need something else, but these are the general classes, I would say. And just a side note on the labs, you're going to have teacher assistants who lead the labs. Utilize them. I would go to their office hours every day and bother them, but it will be worth it. They're super helpful. So just a little tip. And I actually ended up, so anatomy, I really enjoyed that class. I was a teacher assistant for that class for college, and that's something really great to just add to your resume when applying to classes. So things to think about like that. So some additional components, so you guys are all probably in the process of doing your ACTs and all that fun stuff. I'm sure you're enjoying that. So luckily we don't have to take the MCAT, which is a huge plus because that's a lot. So we have the GRE, which is it's pretty similar to the ACT, SAT. So that's not it's not a huge stressor. They definitely, my college, they had like a prep course you could take. Most of the schools will have that, they'll offer it, which is like helpful because those things are kind of tedious to study for. And then you only need 3 letters of recommendation. This one's huge. So I went to a huge school, Big Ten school, so there's sometimes 300 kids in my classes. So you need to make some sort of relationship with your professor. So that's where you really interact with your teacher assistant, or in the smaller classes, really get to know like 1 or 2 professors, because you will need a letter of recommendation. And yeah.
Can you get a letter of recommendation from your TA or only the professor? What do they want?
Yeah, so for my TA, I got because he was the one overseeing most of my work, so he and then the professor would work collaboratively on that.
Okay, you guys make friends with them, right?
Yes.
Stand out, send them thank you notes, send them gifts,
Yeah.
make sure they have a connection with you.
Yes.
You get friends, you make those connections.
Yeah, so even like I was an anatomy TA, so I had a graduate assistant working over me, so he wasn't the professor of anatomy, but he saw what I was doing, so he and the anatomy professor who was teaching 400 kids both worked on it hand in hand. So they are aware of that. And then also, when you are doing your patient care hours, whether you're a nursing assistant, a physical therapy aide, an emergency tech, you'll want a PA at some point, or a doctor, ideally a PA, probably to write a letter of recommendation. So for me, I worked at a physical therapy office, so I had a physical therapist do one, 2 of them. I had a physician assistant do one, and then 2 professors. Do you know what you had?
I actually had 2 doctors and 2 professors.
Yeah.
But I worked in a place where it was mostly doctors, so that's just how it worked out. But I had like PA shadowing experience and stuff and an understanding of it, so that worked out fine for me. But definitely, I would recommend if you can get one from PA.
And I know like where we live, there's PAs everywhere, so you guys should be fine. And then what is huge is volunteer experience, especially we all interviewed a couple places, but like they love to see volunteers. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but I do the Girls on the Run program. So I did all my volunteering at the LeBron James School there with them, and like that just gave me so much to talk about. And like I know volunteering, like that's like the last thing you ever want to do on like a Saturday, whatever. But like just doing that over time and like finding something you actually like, because I love doing that. Like I know at Walsh Jesuit for high school we had to do volunteer hours, and I went to like Jenner site downtown Akron just to get my hours, and like that's great to do that, but like I really enjoyed this. So I would suggest just finding something, even if you join the sorority or whatever, I know they have like philanthropies, so like get involved, because that will be huge.
And like start that like freshman year. Like there were things I started the first month of freshman year that I kept going throughout my 4 years, and it not only built up a lot of hours, but was a really meaningful experience. And you don't have to do stuff that's directly related to healthcare. They want to see that you're doing things that you're interested in and really passionate about. And there's a lot of opportunities, so I would just start searching those out like the second you get.
And it also shows commitment.
Absolutely.
You know, if you do it over 4 years, you guys know how you are. You know, you're like want to be president of some club your senior year because you don't have any leadership stuff.
Yeah.
You got to show some depth to yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So doing something for 4 years, find something you love, and then latch on.
Yeah. That was probably like one of my favorites. Like shadowing is great, but like you can only do so much. But like I love doing volunteer.
And I think even our program, I think we had one of the highest. Our average was 800 hours of volunteering from college. So
Yeah.
that was like a huge number, and it was. I think you had to have like several hundred, I think, to even apply.
Yeah,
for ours.
300 minimum.
And so not all programs do that, but definitely if you have a high number, they're gonna be like, ooh, this person stands
They're
out.
used to volunteer. They have to get 40 hours before they.
Okay,
So
awesome.
you guys know, you guys are
Yeah.
ahead of us. So then another thing that's big is leadership experience. So they also like to see that you have some leadership qualities. So this is what I did in college. So I was a TA, and then also there's a program called Charge. So wherever you guys are going to school, for girls, sorry, not boys, but it's like a women's health and fitness program. It's a really great opportunity to get involved, like right when you start school. Great way to meet people. So I was the VP of membership, so we did different workouts. We'd go to like Orange Theory, like CrossFit, fun things like that. But that was just something I really enjoyed to do, and also like it was a great leadership experience. So just like things to think about, like president of your sorority, or not even president, just like having some role somewhere.
And a lot of schools have like healthcare, like I was on the healthcare advisory committee, so a lot of schools have like health clubs or health things, and so I always try to look out for those and just get ideas about what you might be able to get involved in, or